Hello, friends. Thanks again for watching my channel, Managing Diabetics. The topic I'll be discussing today is called breaking the progressive cycle of type 2 diabetics. Breaking the progressive cycle of type 2 diabetics. Can you break the progression of your type 2 diabetes? In other words, reverse it? Yes, but it's going to take a toll on you and a lot of commitments. To reverse any diabetics, especially type 2, you need to be able to break this cycle by taking off the strain of your insulin producing cells. Okay, there are a lot of strain on your insulin producing cells. Okay, but for you to reverse this trend and break that cycle of diabetics, you have to take the strain off your insulin producing cells. And there are four effective ways to reverse this type 2 diabetics. Four effective ways to reverse type 2 diabetics. Number one, low carbohydrate diets. I keep emphasizing carbohydrate, low carbohydrate diets. Number two, very low calorie diet. Very low calorie diets. Number three, exercise. Exercise. And number four, bariatric surgery. Bariatric surgery. Now, let me explain this briefly for you to understand what I mean. Breaking the progressive cycle of type 2 diabetics. Let me start with the low carbohydrate diets. Low carbohydrate diets are known for lowering the amount of insulin the body needs to produce, resulting in less insulin resistance. Okay? So that is low carbohydrate diets. Okay? Are all known for lowering the amount of insulin the body needs to produce. The more you consume low carbohydrate diets, the less your body needs to produce more insulin to control the sugar level in your bloodstream. But the more you're consuming a lot of carbohydrate, you are putting a lot of strain, a lot of pressure on your insulin producing cells to produce adequate enough insulin in order to meet up with a high consumption of your carbohydrate, so that it will meet that quota in order to reduce the sugar content in your bloodstream. So that is why it's advisable to consume food that are low in carbohydrate, because if you are consuming food in low in carbohydrate, you are not going to put your insulin producing cell under pressure to produce adequate insulin in order to counterbalance that high sugar content in your bloodstream. So that is why it's advisable to consume low carbohydrate diet. That is one. I hope you get it. So the less you consume low carbohydrate diet, the less you are putting more pressure on your insulin producing cells to produce insulin to meet up the demand your body needs to regulate the sugar content in your bloodstream. The more you consume high carbohydrate, the more you are putting more pressure on your insulin producing cells to produce more insulin in order to counterbalance the high sugar content in your bloodstream to bring it down to the normal level. So that is why consume less carbohydrates, less insulin is produced in your body, thereby you are maintaining your insulin producing cells. High carbohydrate, high insulin, you are putting more pressure to an extent that you're going to damage the insulin is going to be less effective, damage, because of the high strain you're putting on the insulin producing cells. That's low carbohydrate diet. That's number one. Number two, very low calorie diets. Okay? Very low calorie diet. And what do you understand by low calorie diet? Okay? I don't know. I'm going to say it this way. Low calorie diets, which is called VLCD, have been shown, to achieve significant weight loss, reduce insulin resistance, and allow people with type 2 diabetes to come off their diabetics medication. So now the first one is low carbohydrates. The second one is low calorie diet. The low calorie diet, when you combine with low carbohydrate, is you are now balancing your diet. Because the more you consume less carbohydrates, the more you consume very low calorie diets, you are getting closer to being off medication. Because now you are no more putting more pressure on your insulin producing cells to produce enough insulin to meet up the demand of the high sugar content in your bloodstream. So that is why it is advisable that you should consume very low calorie diets. A very low calorie diet have been shown to achieve significant weight loss, reduce insulin resistance, and allow people with type 2 diabetes to come off their diabetic medication. That is why it's advisable low carbohydrate diet, low calorie diet. Okay? It has to be very low calorie diet. And that's why when you hear people when they go to gym, they say, I'm going to the gym to burn off my calories. Because you have to make sure your calories are down in order to reduce your weight. And when you're reducing your weight, you're helping your body to fight off the diabetics. So now number 3 is exercise. All right. Number 3 is exercise. We all know what exercise does to the body. Okay. Exercise is healthy to the body, healthy to the heart. Okay. Because the more you exercise, the more you give your heart a new lease of life in order to help to pump up blood and around all the organs of your body. Exercise helps the body to become more sensitive to insulin. Okay. In combination with healthy diet, exercise can reduce the demand of insulin in the body and therefore help to reverse diabetics. That is why you are encouraged each and every time a diabetic individual to involve in physical activities, which means exercise, running, walking, okay, going to the gym, things that makes you are not in one place for a long period of time, because you have to exercise. The more you exercise, the more you are helping your body to become more sensitive to insulin. You are working up your insulin to go to work. All right. In combination with a healthy diet, you have to balance. Everything has to go with dieting. You have to balance your diet in combination with exercise. And once you have balance your diet with exercise, it reduces the demand for insulin in the body. Therefore, it will help you to reverse your diabetics. Okay? That is it. So it is advisable for you guys to be in exercise. It is very important. The more you exercise, the more you are helping your body, okay, to be less insulin resistant. Now, the 4th one is the bariatric surgery. Bariatric surgery has shown significant result in reversing type 2 diabetics with gastric bypass surgery, leading to particular impressive remission rate. Okay? It all have to do with, you have to reduce the remission. Instead of it to keep growing, you are reversing the trend backward. Instead of going forward or upward, you are reversing it backward. And with the aid of with gastric bypass surgery. That's what they call bariatric surgery. I haven't seen a lot. It's once in a while that I've seen people that have gone to this extent in order to reverse their diabetics. But these are 4 ways you can break the progressive cycle of type 2 diabetics. If you keep to this trend, keep to these 4 things: low carbohydrate, very low calorie, exercising, and bariatric surgery, you're on the way to be off medication. You're on the way to normal life. And then you have to keep it that way for the rest of your life. Balancing your exercise, balancing your diet, everything comes back to normal. So friends, these are the 4 tips of reversing the progressive cycle of type 2 diabetes. Please, at the end of this video, do not forget to leave comments in my comment section. I would like to hear from you guys. Your feedbacks helps me to grow more. And again, please do not forget to subscribe. It is very important you subscribe. Like my page so that I'll be able to keep dropping more videos for you guys and see how far we can go in enlightening people about the dangers of diabetics. So once again, thank you for watching my channel. Allow me into your space to share these ideas on how to live and manage diabetics. Please kindly subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment and share it with your friends. Thank you, and see you guys next time. Goodbye.